This video is on identifying adjectives. It's exercise 8. Our directions are that we're going to identify the adjectives in each sentence, and then we're going to find the noun or pronoun that each adjective modifies. We're going to ignore the articles an, a, and the, which are a special group of adjectives, but they're just too common to see, so we leave them out of the exercise. So we have an example. Here's the sentence. Why don't you take the local bus home from school on cold days? So we're going to look at that sentence, and as we go, we'll find things like local is describing bus, and cold is describing days. That's what we're doing. We're finding the adjectives, and then we're finding what they modify. So here's number 1. On winter afternoons, I sometimes walk home after band practice rather than ride on a crowded, noisy bus. You take a look at it, and we're going to try to find the nouns and pronouns. So we're going to find the nouns and pronouns, and then we're going to find adjectives that tell us what kind of noun, or which one of the nouns, or how many of the nouns. So here's the nouns in this sentence. And so, what kind of afternoon? A winter afternoon. What kind of practice? A band practice. And what kind of bus? A crowded and noisy bus. So there's number 1. We found the nouns. We left out some pronouns there like I and home, but those are nouns and pronouns that didn't have anything modifying them. So there you can see it all put together. So for number 2, the sentence goes, I hardly even notice the heavy traffic that streams past me on the street. What are we trying to find first? You should remember it's nouns and pronouns. And what questions are we looking to ask? You should know it's what kind, which one, or how many. So, if you look through, there's the nouns and pronouns, but none of those questions are answered for I, me, or street. What's left is traffic, and what kind of traffic? Heavy traffic. So there's number 2. Traffic was described by the adjective of heavy. Number 3 is the wet sidewalk glistens in the bright lights from the windows of stores. 4 nouns to find, but only 2 of them have adjectives. So if you find the nouns, it's these guys. But which 2 are being described by those questions? What kind of sidewalk? A wet sidewalk. And what kind of lights? Bright lights. Windows and stores didn't have any adjectives. So there we can see number 3. What do you notice about how the adjectives are related to the words they describe? If you take a look at where they're located in the sentence, you should see that the words they describe tend to follow the adjectives. They keep the adjectives close by, just like those little baby ducks are following their mother duck. So next we have number 4. The stoplights throw green, yellow, and red splashes on the pavement. Which noun is getting described? There's a couple nouns in there. We have spotlights, splashes, pavement, but which one's being described? You should see that green, yellow, and red are all going to describe what kind of splashes there are. What added description do green, yellow, and red give about the splashes? Well, they tell what kind. So there we see number 4. Number 5 goes, after I turn the corner away from the busy avenue, I am on a quiet street where a jolly snowman often stands next to one of the neighborhood houses. It's a long sentence, so there's 4 adjectives to find. There's a lot in there. So what kind of avenue? A busy avenue. What kind of street? A quiet street. What kind of snowman is it? A jolly snowman. And what kind of houses? The neighborhood houses. So that's what you have for number 5. Number 6 is much shorter than number 5, so it goes a little easier. At first, I reached my peaceful home. So what kind of home is it? You should see, it's a peaceful home. All right. Now, moving on to number 7. There I am often greeted by my older brother, Kenny, and my sister, Natalie. Older describes the brother. But what other noun is older also describing? This adjective is going for 2 different nouns. It's also describing the sister. It's worded in kind of a funny way, but you can see that older is describing both of those things. Number 8, I know they are glad to see me. For the first time, the adjective is going to come after what it describes, and it's describing a pronoun. So those two new things have shown up here. You see, glad is describing they. It's the first pronoun we have being described. Delicious smells come from the kitchen where mom and dad are cooking dinner. Delicious is describing the smells. And that's it. That was a quick one. Here we have number 10, the last one. This quiet private walk always makes me feel a little tired but also happy. There's a lot in this last one. What three things are describing the walk? It's a private walk. It's a quiet walk. And out of all the walks, which one is it? It's this one. Remember what special kind of adjective this was called? Along with the words that, these, and those, this is a demonstrative adjective, so it points things out. Sometimes all those things could also be pronouns too. Finally, what two adjectives are describing me? Happy and tired. So, from that, we looked at 10 different sentences. We found which adjectives described which nouns or pronouns. That was exercise 8 on identifying adjectives. Thanks for watching.